17 years ago, I went to Kyoto, as many a starry-eyed innocent goes to Kyoto, to sample life in a Zen temple in the back streets of the ancient Japanese capital. Someone in Santa Barbara mentioned the name of the Kyoto temple to me, and 1 week later, I was in a small tatami room, surrounded by 2 friendly Japanese monks, eager to tell me of their own adventures in Las Vegas and LA. Feeling that this was not quite what I'd come for, I went off to explore the large city and ran into a young American on a bus. "Have you ever heard about the Kyoto Connection?" she asked. I hadn't. "It's this amazing evening once a month when people sing songs, recite poems, do performances of some kind. It's happening tomorrow at a coffee shop called the Kifu." I seized on the augury, as it would come, and the next day found myself inside a place on whose windows were written Le Kifu. I sat down across from a foreigner who was quietly making drawings in a sketchbook. "Where are you from?" he asked. "Santa Barbara." "I studied in Santa Barbara," came the answer. "Have you ever met a Mrs. Iyer?" I wasn't entirely surprised to come all the way across the world to run into a student of my mother's. It wasn't the first time it had happened, but I greatly enjoyed the company of the quiet painter, the true Kyoto Connection, and stole back to my temple after midnight, feeling replete. A few days later, thinking I might learn more about Zen at some distance from stories of Las Vegas, I moved to a tiny guest house in another part of town. I went out my first evening in my new home to a phone booth to call the painter and tell him my address. "Where is it exactly?" he asked. "I don't know." I looked up. I'm standing near a place called Caravan. I live across the street. Kyoto is an immensely spread out city, larger than Boston or San Francisco, and I had landed up 30 seconds away from my new friend, and less than a minute from the coffee shop called the Kifu. More than that, my new friend turned out to be a long-time student of Zen, who patiently guided me around Zen temples and invited me to a special private ceremony where a friend of his, a Zen master, was attaining some new level of elevation. We went into a small room and I found myself next to a Japanese woman. "Where do you come from?" she asked. And I said, "Santa Barbara. I've always wanted to go there." I look around me sometimes in Kyoto now. I'm married to that woman. Meet regularly with my painter friend Michael and his friend the Zen master, and have never really left the light that settled around me 3 weeks after my arrival, and think that travel is how we notice and make good on the magic that we too often walk past in our daily lives. At home, if told about a Kyoto Connection, I'd probably have said I was too busy.